How much does the ASAP Rocky case have to do with our attachment to Rihanna? How much does the Jay-Z case have to do with our attachment to Beyonce?
Not guilty.
It reminds us of the severity of black people being in front of the law. Like 24 years of your life could be snatched away in seconds. Hello gorgeous people, my name is Georges and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back on here because I wanted to talk about the two legal cases, the case of ASAP Rocky and Jay-Z. Some niggas are getting free and thank God for that. I'm Georges. Good morning. Earlier last week, we found out that the case against Jay-Z was dismissed. Yesterday or the day before, I watched a video of ASAP Rocky being found not guilty. The Jay-Z case was a case by a Jane Doe, meaning the person accusing them didn't want to reveal her identity, was alleging that she had been raped when she was a teenager by both Diddy and Jay-Z. We already know the cloud that looms on Diddy's head right now, but I think the case got dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be filed again. ASAP Rocky was being accused of shooting one of his friends back in 2021. The alleged shooting didn't result in anyone being killed. He was basically charged of assault because assault doesn't have to result in someone being physically affected by the altercation. ASAP was basically facing up to 24 years, which seems like a lot for an injury. He was facing up to 24 years in jail for this alleged assault. He had the opportunity to take a plea deal, which would not have given him any jail time, but he chose to go to trial. For me, it indicated something that he chose to take this to trial. And of course, a highly dramatized trial with Rihanna present, their kids present. He was found not guilty.
We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakeem Mayers, not guilty.
That video was incredibly emotional because you could sense how tensed he was at that verdict. It reminds us of the severity of black people being in front of the law. Like your life, 24 years of your life could be snatched away in seconds. Maybe I'm reaching, but for me, it reminded me of the cloud that like black men and black people live under in this country.
And I think for many black men as well, they see the judiciary system and America's private prison system to be the biggest tool of oppression that is still being used against black men today. I would almost go as far as to say that it serves as a tool of terrorism because almost every black person that I know lived their life with the fear of the judiciary system coming down on them regardless of whether or not they committed a fault.
About 28% of black men in America are expected to go to jail at some point in their lifetime. That's 1 in 5. If you have a group of 5 friends, 1 out of 5 of you is expected to go to jail within their lifetime. Now, to give you a comparison, for white people and for other people, it's less than 5%. You already know that 33% of the incarcerated population in America is made up of black men. For me, what that means for me, you always feel like your life, part of your life has to incorporate the idea of having to avoid coming in contact with the system. And that's very different from saying like, I don't want to get in trouble or I don't want to do anything bad, because the reality is that 28% of black men who are incarcerated didn't necessarily do something bad. Is black people just tend to be more surveilled and criminalized at a faster rate than anybody else. My last point is, I also wondered, looking at the cases involving Jay-Z and ASAP Rocky, I wondered how much of our attachment to those cases had to do with your spouses. How much does the ASAP Rocky case have to do with our attachment to Rihanna? How much does the Jay-Z case have to do with our attachment to Beyonce? Because the minute I heard about those two cases, the minute I heard about the Jay-Z case, my immediate thought was, I don't want him to go to jail. Now I'm wondering how much those two cases have to do with our attachment to their partners, our attachment to Rihanna and Beyonce. My guess is a lot of it. Do we analyze a legal case differently when the person involved in the legal case is known to us, black people, as someone who is a member of a family who we admire?
I guess this is a good time to point out something that happened during the ASAP Rocky case that I didn't get the opportunity to talk about when I was filming. Rihanna came to the closing argument. She came to court, and she came to court with her two kids, the two kids that she had with ASAP Rocky. And something that the prosecutor pointed out, which was very surprising to me during the closing argument, was that the jury should not take into account. He was basically saying, don't take into account the fact that this man has a family. He was insinuating that Rihanna, ASAP Rocky, and their two kids are trying to manipulate the jury by bringing their kids there to remind them that they are a family, to remind them that they're a family unit, to remind them that this man, that ASAP Rocky, is a family man. First of all, I have to point out here that the jury here is all white. Not all white, but no black people on the jury. The reason why a lot of us recoil at the idea of trying a black man on the jury without any black person on it is because we're already doubting the fact that other people who aren't black see the humanity of black people, see the fullness of the life of black people. And so this prosecutor stating that this jury that has no black person on it shouldn't consider the fullness of the life of this man, the prosecutor uses that to try to benefit from the lack of humanity that this society gives to black people. The problem here is I think the jury did consider his full life, his full humanity, his family. And I think that's partially why he was found not guilty.
But hey, I'm happy for both those black men. That's all for me today. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.